mighty New South Wales Surge have fallen. Is Victoria ready to take the next step? Next on LFL Football Night.
Life comes down to moments. Moments of triumph and moments of failure. Tonight is my moment. Tonight is our moment on a stage for the world to see. The battle begins now for LFL supremacy in Australia.
You are looking at the beautiful Sydney Harbour Bridge, site of LFL Football Night. Hello, LFL fans. Mitch Mortaza joining you once again alongside John Rowe here in the broadcast booth and Sarah Godfrey down on the field. She'll join us a little later. John, we've got the New South Wales Surge again on the big stage. Problem this time is they are not the same dominant team that we've seen pretty much all the preseason and early in the season. They're on the verge of being eliminated from the Legends Cup contention.
Absolutely. I think I'm seeing a little bit of desperation here. They need to really sort what the issue is out. I mean, they've got players fighting with coaches, coaches fighting with players. They're making heaps of mental mistakes, as we saw in that loss against WA just last week. They need to sort that out. I mean, they've got the talent on the roster to get this done. Yeah,
a clearly dominant team, but they have a blueprint out there now on how they can be beat. Now, their opponents tonight are the Victoria Maidens that are coming in 1-0. Coming off a huge win at Amy Park down in Melbourne over WA. For a closer look at them, we go down to the field with the third member of our broadcast team, Sarah Godfrey.
Thanks, Mitch and John. Having spent the day with the Maidens, it's easy to see why they're the feel-good story of LFL this year. The Maidens are strong, no big-name stars, great team players and also good leaders. One of the main captains in this Maidens voyage is strong safety, Harley Greenwood. Harley would need to rally her defence tonight to take on this potent Surge offence. And one of the main identities offensively is Jules Parker. Also key role players to watch, Chelsea Clinging and Talia Armand. This game will determine who is amongst the elite of LFL Australia. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, the stage is set. It's the Victoria Maidens taking on the New South Wales Surge. Kickoff is next. We return to Centrebet Stadium in Sydney, Australia with the New South Wales Surge and the Victoria Maidens. Now we go down to the field with Sarah Godfrey.
Thanks, guys. You can feel the excitement just moments before kickoff. I'm here with New South Wales captain Bonnie Gillespie. Bonnie, can you tell us how important it is for you guys to win this one tonight?
Well, by the sound of my voice, I'm pumped. We're all pumped here. We're so excited. Our hearts are jumping out. And we're just going to pound these girls tonight. We're going to show them that they don't belong here tonight.
This game's going to be intense. I can feel it. Back to you guys.
Bonnie's so right. I mean, Coach Gaffey, he's hyped them up all week. He's not happy with that loss against WA. He's got something to prove tonight.
No question, no question. And this Victoria team comes in 1-0, as we talked about in the pregame. Nobody expected them to be in this position coming in against New South Wales. As we see the opening kickoff sail in the back of the end zone. And that's Steph Davies. She's going to try to bring it out.
Get out.
Barely gets out of the end zone there, John. That was Bronte Zaire on the stop. Not sure what Steph Davies was thinking there.
Oh, I mean, she could have taken a knee, had the ball 15-yard line coming out. I don't know if anybody's explained the rules to her.
This is going to put Victoria in a huge hole early in this one, as they're going to take over from the 1-yard line.
This is not where you want to be in a game like this. New South Wales, Victoria, and Mitch, this is the rivalry. This, you know, State of Origin, New South Wales, Victoria, this is a big game.
Now backed up, 1st and 10 from the 1. Penny Reed under center, looking at the defense. A little option pitch to Jules Parker. That ball's loose, John, and that's going to be a safety.
Who's got it? It is a safety.
That is an early 2 points for New South Wales on account of that defense.
This is just really bad mechanics from the quarterback, Reed. Doesn't even look to the pitch. No arm extension. That's just a bad job all round.
That's an early 2 points for New South Wales on account of that defense, and now we'll meet Victoria's defense.
Bree Rosado, defensive lineman.
Lauren Harris, defensive line.
Rachel Tate, middle linebacker.
Chelsea Clinging, cornerback. Steph Davies, cornerback.
Mia Ray Clifford, free safety.
Harley Greenwood, strong safety.
And Harley Greenwood is, we want to see her have as big a night as she had against WA.
As we see the New South Wales offense, nothing doing there, no gain.
Nope.
And John, don't adjust your set. That is not Bonnie Gillespie. That is Wida Hewitt. She's starting for some reason in place of Bonnie.
Oh, I was going to say, where's the flowing red hair? Where's the big run there? So that's an interesting, you know, what's New South Wales up to here?
That's a big gamble. Gillespie did struggle a little bit against WA. Now another handoff to Hewitt. Once again struggles to get about 3 yards on that play, and Harley Greenwood coming up for the stop. We sat down with her earlier.
We had a great win against WA last week, but we've got a lot more to bring and we've got a lot more to prove. We're going to keep fighting tonight. We want to earn that respect off everyone, and we're going to beat the surge.
Charlie's right. Coach Brett Chambers, or Coco, he didn't think that the defensive line did a great job against WA. He needs more from them tonight.
Over the middle to Corbin McGregor. She's going to try to get to the right side. That's going to go for 16 yards, and that's someone we haven't seen much of this year, Corbin McGregor.
That's right. This is what we're just talking about. No pressure from the D-line. Quick, not great slant pass there. Just a simple 5-yard slant. Bring it across. Pick up some nice blocks. A nice big play.
Now a 1st and 10. New South Wales all the way to the Victoria 16. Another handoff to Hewitt on the right side, powering her way for about 5 yards.
Ooh, great pancake block there from the offensive line. Just a simple 2-person rush there. Get to the outside. Victoria need way more pressure than this.
Hewitt more of a traditional back, good size, not very speedy. Doesn't have that breakaway speed you see from Gillespie. Now a 2nd and 5 at the Victoria 11. Barclay under center, handoff again to Hewitt over the middle. Nothing doing. That was Jade Booth coming up.
I think they're missing Gillespie right here. I mean, getting to the outside seems to be okay, but nothing up the middle there.
Check that. That was Evie Wonder, sister to Stevie Wonder, the All-American pop star.
You got some talent on this team, Mitch.
I just made that up, John.
Oh, okay.
They're not related at all.
Okay,
3rd and 4 now.
Your American humor.
Jacinda Barclay under center again. New South Wales in the red zone. There's a fake handoff. Bootleg left. Going to take a shot to the end zone, and there it is.
Great
the
pass.
First score of the night to Corbin McGregor, whose 16-yard completion set up this drive. Big completion, John.
Great roll. This is what we're talking about. The defensive line. Where is your backside contained? You've got to have the right angle. That leaves the receiver wide open in the end zone. Great pass to the left.
New South Wales now has Centerbet Stadium rocking as they go for the 2-point conversion. They're going to try a little option.
Yes.
Gets it out. A sloppy-looking option, but that gets the job done with Hewitt, as New South Wales will take a 10-0 lead, John.
No, Mitch, this is not sloppy. This is what you see in the NRL every weekend from a Rabbitohs team or a Canterbury Bulldogs team. Just a nice little underarm pass. It doesn't need to be perfect. He got the job done.
You know, I stand corrected. I think that's what happened right there.
That's for your Stevie Wonder joke.
1st and 10, Victoria at the 15. Another option pass, this one to Parker again on the left side, and Parker bulldozes Bronte Zire.
Hey, 2 things happen there, Mitch. One, a bad option again, but we see the red hair of Bonnie Gillespie. She's on defense.
But watch this hit. This is a physical runner, and Jules Parker, watch her get to the outside, John.
There you go.
Just unloads on Bronte Zire.
Deliberate. There's no reason why you need to take it as a running back. You can dish out the punishment.
Now a 2nd and 2 for Victoria. Jules Parker once again in the backfield. Got a little bit of motion in the offense. Going to throw to the flat. That was intended for Miss Luda. A bad drop. Now let's meet that Victoria offense.
Evie Wonder, centre.
Crystal Pelcevic, offensive line. Falia Armand, tight end. Jamie Hall, wide receiver.
Miss Luda, wide receiver.
Jules Parker, running back.
Penelope Cooler-Reid, quarterback.
I really like the setup there. That was a great pass. She's got the skills. She's just got to get some people to catch the ball tonight.
Now a 3rd and 2, inside handoff to Talia Arman.
Nice play.
Bulldozing her way for 7 yards. Now let's meet that New South Wales defense.
Bonnie Gillespie, middle linebacker. Chloe Butler, defensive end.
Monique Gaxiola, middle linebacker.
Lisa Todeki, corner.
Bronte Zire, corner.
Amanda, AJ James, safety.
Mallory Vogelhuber, safety.
I want to see another big game tonight from Bronte Zire. She had a good game the other week.
1st and 10, handoff to Jules Parker. And
There we
she's
go.
just motoring her way to the secondary. Parker went for about 5 yards on that one. A real consistent runner, Jules is.
And they're doing quite well off that left-hand side for the offense there. So I think we might see a few more play calls coming that way, but they're starting to get a rhythm here.
I like the strategy, mixing it up.
This is exactly what Victoria did against WA. We saw some motioning. We saw run left, run right. Hopefully we can get a few more passes in the air.
Now the New South Wales defense a little bit on their heels, not knowing what to expect. Now they're going to take a shot to the left side of the end zone. Miss Luda. Apparently she dropped that one, John.
And she's whinging about it to the referee. I don't like players to get up and start whinging the referee. Let him do the job. Let's have a quick look here. She's got it in her hands, almost turn it tuck. Nope.
You got to come up with that one, John, against the New South Wales on the road when the ball's in your hands like that.
Everything was great except for the finish. Really nice to get up high, turn the body, protect the ball, couldn't come down with it.
That's the second key drop for Miss Luda on this drive. Another fake handoff to the flat right side to Armin. Just thrown a little bit outside her.
I'm really liking the play calling. It's a play action face going on there. Penelope Cool-Reid had time. She's just got to settle her feet. She's going to get pressure from the defense straight away, but she's got time and she can make an accurate throw.
You got a sense they were trying to bait the DNs, but Penny Reed just got rid of that ball a little too soon.
Heard the footsteps.
Now a 4th and 5 from the 15. Double reverse. This one's going to Chelsea Klingon. Klingon getting to the outside, motoring to the end zone. Just a yard short, it appears. That'll be a 1st and goal for Victoria.
Crowd loving it. Really nice mix-up. We've had the inside reverse handoffs there. We've had run left, run right passes, and now we've got the reverse. Let's have a squeeze here. Nice blocking downfield. Turns it back in. That's a great job of running. Doesn't want to go out of bounds. Wants to make the score. That's a great job.
That reverse now sets up a 1st and goal. And a great way to quiet this raucous crowd that got in here early, John, and they were fired up for their New South Wales.
Maidens have lifted since that terrible start, but they're knocking on the door here. Let's see what they can do.
1st and goal now at the New South Wales 1.
Oh.
And that might be encroachment by New South Wales, and that'll go for about half the distance. Let's await the call here.
Okay, I'm going to pick up the ball and move it 6 inches closer to the line.
Are we not going to get a call on this, John? Guess not. All right, so it'll be 2nd and goal now.
Offside, defense, your half distance, still it out.
Better late than never. We got it.
1st and goal again at the half-yard line. Fake handoff to Jules Parker, a little action play. Nobody there over the middle, kind of a sloppy play that never developed.
I don't want to get angry, but are you serious? They are 6 inches from the goal line. Where is the bam, the quick hitter? Fullback, straight in.
You've got one of the most physical backs in all of LFL Australia with Jules Parker averaging 6 yards a pop, and you're play-action passing on the half-yard line.
You play-action passing, quarterback's dropping back 10 yards, taking time, there's pressure. Just, you're 6 inches out, just drive it home. It doesn't have to be pretty. Get it in the end zone.
There's a down-the-field look. You can see how close Victoria is to that goal line. Now a 2nd and goal play. This one goes another play-action bootleg. Hewla Reed will lose 2 yards on that call.
Mitch, if I had hair, I'd be pulling it out. Because right now, you saw that fullback just lead dive in there. She's in the end zone. She's doing a break dance. Why keep rolling out? Just slam it in. Don't outthink yourself.
As we come to the end of 1st quarter play, New South Wales with the early 10-0 lead in this one, with Victoria finally threatening behind the legs of Jules Parker and Chelsea Klingon. Welcome back to Centrebet Stadium in Sydney, Australia, as we take a look at the New South Wales huddle and Coach Jason Gaffey, who had a difference of opinion earlier this week with Mo Gaxiola, his middle linebacker.
I'm telling you now, when we're outside the 10, Gorilla Big Quick takes me out of the play automatically. If I'm not rushing, I have to...
I'll tell you what, you let me coach, and I'll coach.
Okay, but I'm telling you what I'm seeing out there.
Yeah, I know, they haven't run the middle until then. I was in base. Every other time they're running the outside, and they're getting it.
Relax,
That's
dude.
why I'm there.
But I'm out there and I'm trying to explain to you what's going on.
I'm telling you that when they...
All right, Gav. All right, I got it.
The reason that they're getting yards is because they're getting the outside edge. That's why I'm putting you in Gorilla, so that you can get the outside edge.
Let's go, girls.
Well, I'm the coach, she's the player. I've got to call things in, she's got to react to it. That's just football. 30 seconds later, we're all good, and we have a mutual respect for each other.
Gaff had a bit of a blow up on me last game. We both realized how to communicate since then. Me being a veteran in leadership out there on defense and him being the coach, we both need to respect each other's roles. And I think we've moved forward tonight and we're ready to take on the Maidens.
I think she's absolutely right. They both didn't communicate. They were saying exactly the same thing, but they just didn't understand each other. You guys speak a funny American accent.
You know, I like the approach of Coach Gaffey. Very clear cut. I'm the head coach. You're the player. Follow the damn scheme. 3rd and goal now.
Nice
Victoria.
sense of vision.
There's another what looked to be a quarterback bootleg. And Chloe Butler, speaking of American imports, all over Penny Reed.
Do not have the time. I mean, that's almost the 3rd time they've tried to set up that fake roll to the right there. They simply do not have the time against this surge defense.
Look at Butler's stats on the year. That's after only 2 games. Averaging an astonishing 9 tackles per game.
They're letting her loose, that's for sure.
Now a 4th and goal back in the 6-yard line. Pitch out to Jules Parker on the left side. She's going to be a yard short, John.
Great angles. I mean, look, play calling idea, not bad, not bad. They went to the left. They've had some success off the left-hand side. But the pursuit angles for New South Wales, very nice.
Bronte Zire coming up from that right corner position. And, John, that's a series where you had 1st and goal inside the half-yard line.
Could have scored so many times. Just simple fullback dives or a quick hitter.
New South Wales now taking over with Hewitt on the right side. She'll get it out to about the 4-yard line. Now we look at that New South Wales offense.
Charmaine Pavelka, centre.
Shari Onley, tight end.
Quincy Hewitt, offensive line.
Corbin McGregor, wide receiver.
Taylor Mulberg, wide receiver. Wyatt Hewitt, running back.
Jacinda Barclay,
quarterback.
She's having a good night so far, Barclay.
2nd and 7, handoff again to Hewitt. This time tries to the left side. And that's Harley Greenwood, who we've talked about a lot, John.
I know. I just can't believe it. Coach Coco, Brett Chambers, he would have been disappointed then. That defensive line had them at pretty much a 3-yard line there. But wasn't able to, there he is on screen now, wasn't able to wrap up.
Very impressive defense from Victoria. We saw a bit of that in WA, against WA, and we're seeing it again tonight. And they're going to need it because this New South Wales offense has a lot of weapons, as we've talked about. Bonnie Gillespie, there's a look at her again. She's finally back in this game.
She's in the huddle.
Corbin McGregor.
The bottom line is, Mitch, we know the Maidens can do it. We've seen it. They've just got to do it tonight at Penrith.
A key 3rd and 4 play here. And finally the handoff to Gillespie. And Gillespie showing that speed. That's what I meant, John. Once she gets past that initial point of contact, you seldom see her go down with the first point of contact.
And doesn't the game plan change straight away? Straight up the middle. Cuts it back up in the middle again to the, we've seen to the runs left and right. Finally, we're seeing some, bam, power running up the middle.
Nice 9-yard burst for Gillespie. That'll set up New South Wales at about the 16-yard line. Barkley in the shotgun.
Here we go.
Gonna look down the field to Corbin McGregor. Barely overthrown, John.
Gee, I'm loving Barclay's setup. She's double tapping the ball, a little bit like Tom Brady from the Patriots. Got a really nice release, just a little too far.
We saw the arm strength of Barkley there stretch the field. That was one of the strengths for her. That's why she was the #1 ranked quarterback coming into the season. She has that cannon for an arm.
So what you're telling me, Mitch, is we've got to get faster receivers.
Just a bit of timing, I think.
Good to see him air it out.
Now a 2nd and 10 from the New South Wales 16. Once again, Barkley in the shotgun. This time a quarterback draw to the right side. Going to try to get to the outside. Gets about 4 yards before Evie Wonder comes up.
Oh, here we go. A little bit of extracurricular activity. Nice little fake there to Gillespie. Naked bootleg to the outside there and taken well out of bounds. Temper's getting heated.
These two teams, like you said earlier, a few words were exchanged during the week on social media. Now a heated battle with New South Wales in the lead, 10-0, and driving once again. Quick slant to Corbin McGregor.
Nice.
They're using McGregor on those quick slants tonight. That'll go for about 10 yards.
Really good opportunity here for the people at home to have a look at the angle. Great camera work there. You can see the slant pass, just a nice one-step slant pass. Receivers get open in the middle, corners are off. One step, 45 degrees, bam. Nice big pass. I want to see more of this.
One more note for Jacinda Barkley is that quick release. For those of you guys who follow the NFL, a lot similar to Dan Marino.
Love the Dan.
1st and 10 at the Victoria 20. Barkley fakes the handoff, bootlegs to the right side, quick dump off to Quincy Hewitt.
Nice.
Hewitt's going to get in the end zone. That is a 20-yard strike and a lot of yards after the catch, John.
Oh, I know Coach Chambers won't be happy with the contain from the DN there. But I tell you what, Jacinda Barkley, her throwing technique, fake, roll left, throwing, it's so hard to throw when rolling left. She makes it look so easy.
That play-action play that you saw from Victoria in their opening drive. New South Wales setting that up with their success on the run game with Hewitt and Gillespie. Now the extra point attempt from the 3-yard line. They're going to try to hand it off to Hewitt. A little miscommunication. That's not going to get there. Oh. And our score will remain 16-0.
Don't whinge about it, New South Wales, just because you've messed it up there.
Tempers are flaring. As you said, these two do not like each other.
We've got a hanky.
Personal foul, number 16, Victoria. It'll be half distance on the commencement of the play.
A 7-play, 49-yard drive, and now we go down to the field with Sarah Godfrey.
Thanks, guys. I'm here on the sideline with Brett Chambers. You guys are putting yourself in position, but you're making dumb mental mistakes. What can you do to change this?
Yeah, they've got in their heads, so yeah, they're owning us a little bit at the moment, but we just had a talk then, and I'm pretty sure the girls have got it straight, so we'll see how we go in the next series. But yeah, we had an agreement actually with New South Wales Surge that it was going to be a clean game, and they just come out throwing punches. So cheers, Gaffy, we appreciate that, mate, and no worries. You're a gem, mate.
Back to you guys.
Coach Brett Chambers of Coco, you can tell he's not happy, and he's a typical Aussie battler. You can tell by his expression he wanted to say so much more, but we don't have the censoring ability because you'd be hearing beep, 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 and he doesn't sound. He needs to get his head back in the game and finish this game out rather than worrying about the other coach.
It feels like it's personal between Coach Jason Gaffey of New South Wales and Coach Brett Chambers. You got a feeling he wants this beyond just the ball game.
I get a feeling that Coach Chambers wants to suit up and go against Gaffey.
Now a 1st and 10 from the Victoria 8. Annie Reid with the handoff. No, she's going to keep it herself.
Is that a fumble?
And she spins her way for about 6 yards, what looked to be a busted play.
Nice job there. A little bit of recovery. Got some yards.
That'll set up a 2nd and 4 from the Victoria 14.
Maidens, it might just be slipping away right now from the Maidens. Some bad snaps, drop passes. Maidens got to get it done. We know they can do it.
Just don't seem to be as sharp as they were a couple of weeks ago at Amy Park. There's a pass in the flat, as you can see again. Timing just is not right, especially between Armin and Reid. They seem to be struggling tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, you can just see there from Reid, there was no footwork whatsoever. She threw static. It was like a statue. Came out sidearm instead of straight over the top. She needs to get the timing a little bit better.
3rd and 4. Mo Gaxiola manning the center position there on defense. Now another delayed handoff. It's a fake handoff. Armin in the flat. That'll go for about 5 yards. They needed 4. That will move the sticks.
Nice work. Nice work. That's all you need. Just seeing the Maidens go away a little bit from what they were doing originally. We saw some motioning. They were getting some great yards going left. I think they're getting away from themselves here.
Now that offense mixing it up a little bit as they did on the initial drive. The problem hasn't been moving the ball for Victoria. It's closing the deal. They were in the red zone and just couldn't capitalize. Their offense otherwise, John, are moving it between Parker, Armin, some great weapons there.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we near the 2-minute marker. In fact, they're at the 2-minute mark. New South Wales leading this one 16-0 in full control. And Coach Chambers not happy. Back to Centerbet Stadium. 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
I like what the Maidens are doing here. They're keeping the ball out of the Surge's hands.
There's a 1st and 10 shot. Intended for Chelsea Klingon.
That's not bad from Chelsea. Good route. She spun around. Just couldn't get her hands up to it. It's what you were saying just before the break, Mitch, was they've got to close that deal. They're just not finishing.
2nd and 10 now. There's a reverse. This one going to Klingen, try to get on the right side, waiting for her blockers, and destroyed by Amanda James. But not before Klingen picks up almost 7 yards on that run.
I'll tell you what, Klingen's got to do a much better job of setting up her blocks. The maidens were blocking them a certain way. She's got to cut back and read those blocks.
Now a 3rd and 3. Reed in the shotgun. Looks to the left side. That is Miss Luda.
Finally.
Who finally catches a pass after 2 key drops on the first drive.
Nice job by the maidens. There we go. Now you can talk it up. You can't talk about it when you drop the passes, but now you can talk it up when you catch it. Nice little setup there by Reed. Nice pass down. Everything's happening to the left tonight for the maidens.
Great scheme as well, as we are in 2-minute offense, and the maidens working the sidelines to conserve that timeout. 1:40 remaining in the second quarter. 1st and goal. Pitch out to Parker. Parker on the left side, cutting back in. Great tackle there by Mo Gaxiola.
And Jules Parker just got to set up that block. She headed to the sideline, wait for that block to what we call wash across the face. Left foot planted in the ground, cut it back in the middle.
That will set up a 2nd and 4 as the clock continues to run as we near 1 minute of play. Back in the shotgun, Reed looking over the middle to Evie Wonder. And Wonder trying to bulldoze her way.
That's good. This is good calling.
That'll go for about 5 yards, getting it down to the New South Wales 4-yard line.
3rd and goal, minute to go. Good job, maidens.
And the New South Wales defense, I don't think expected Victoria to come out and march up and down the field almost at will.
They've been on the field for a long time.
3rd and goal play here. Another pitch out to Parker on the left side trying to motor her way. Just ran out of real estate there on the sideline.
Those receivers and that tight end's got to do a better job of blocking. Here we go again.
Bronte Zier there, the 18-year-old corner. You would not know she's 18. Real gutsy corner there, John.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the angles are sensational. It's really nice. I'll tell you what, Mitch, do you get this much trash talking in the American game?
Oh, yeah. It's chippy out there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I thought we were just being mean.
We normally don't get it from the coaches, though.
Oh, okay.
We usually get it from the players, but these 2 coaches, you got a feeling, want to get after it as well, as you said.
Well, it's Australia, mate.
4th and goal now. A key possession for Victoria to come away with some points after leaving points on the field in the first drive. 4th and goal, under 40 seconds. Hand off to Evie Wonder. Wonder trying to crank her feet. Just cannot get there. Bronte Zier, Mo Gaxiola, and a key goal line stand for this New South Wales defense.
Nice job. They've got to be tied. From the maidens' point of view, that's the play they should be running before when they're only six inches out. That's what you want, the 3 power back set. Bam, get it in there. Just not good blocking up front.
That is potentially 14 points left on the field for Victoria, as New South Wales will take over again. Handoff to Hewitt on the right side. Hewitt breaking through and gets out to about the 11-yard line with the clock running. New South Wales will use their timeout here.
Let's tell you what, Mitch, I reckon both of these teams are going to be tied. This has been a real physical game. They've been up and down the field. There's passes, there's run to the outside. You know, these guys, they'll be looking forward to halftime.
Before halftime, we go down to the field with Sarah Godfrey.
Thanks, guys. I'm here on the sideline with Sharion Lee. It's getting pretty physical out there. Were you expecting this sort of intensity from Victoria?
Yeah, look, definitely. We expected them to come out and have a brawl, and look, we're here to play football. We're not here to have a brawl, so if they don't want to get hit in the face, then they're probably on the wrong field.
Okay, fair enough. Back to you guys.
Sharion Lee, 180 centimetres tall, 80 kilos, setting the tone. You're going to be on this field, expect to get smushed in the mouth.
2nd and 2 play going deep. Barclay now all the way to Kayla Mulvog. That went for 31 yards.
Catch it right in front of your own bench, too. That's got to be good stuff.
Mulvog, the much talked about receiver in the offseason, has not done much of anything in season. Comes through big here with incredible catch, John.
Great job. Oh, look, the defender, great. The cornerback, great position. Got the hand up. That's what you call concentration.
Considering the little time left on the clock, they had to take a shot down the field. Now with about 14 seconds remaining, Barclay goes to work. 1st and goal, Victoria 8-yard line.
Fake handoff, going to bootleg left.
Come on.
Has an opening, going to pitch out.
Oh.
And that one's intercepted. That was intercepted by Emma-Lisa Lloyd.
A little shovel pass gets picked up. I can see what she's trying to do. Rolled out well. Finally, the Maidens had contained. The Maidens still have to get those tackles on the edge. Otherwise, she's going to keep scoring all night on that left-hand side.
Blown opportunities by both sides on offense. That was a great completion to Kayla Mulvog on the right side, but could not capitalize.
I'll tell you what, Mitch, the Maidens have got to do a much better job of stopping the surge. The surge were way down back in their own end zone just a couple of minutes ago.
Now Victoria 1st and 10 from their own 4. 7 seconds. They're going to try to operate
downtown,
down the right side. That one intended for Harley Greenwood. Falls short.
The receivers have just got to do a better job of, you can't just go vertical because there's a safety sitting right in the middle of the field that's either going to hit you or pick it off.
You got to question some of this play calling. You're down 16-0. There's only 2 seconds remaining on the clock. You're on your own 4-yard line. Why are you taking shots like that? That could be disastrous.
These are the questions we need to find out.
Now a 2nd and 10 again from the 4-yard line. Reed from the shotgun on the left side, way out of bounds.
Oh, yeah, look, row 3's got that. That's like my golf shot again from last week.
And that'll take us to halftime here in Penrith, Australia, just outside of Sydney. Centrebet Stadium, the home crowd loving this lead. 16-0, and a dejected Victoria team heads to the locker room.
This game's not over, but they need that momentum back real quick.
Bonnie Gillespie and this New South Wales team rocking and rolling in the first half, up 16-0, dominating on both sides of play.
The agreement we had between coaches, between us and New South Wales Surge, that dirty look. Right? Me's getting punched in the throat. They tried to rip Edmund's top off. And who else has got a punch in the Right. Go out, stand on that sorry, that prick's throat. All right? You know what to do. They did the same thing to you in the first game. Go back out there and kick their ass.
A tense Victoria Maiden locker room at halftime as we return to Centrebet Stadium in Sydney, Australia. Mitch Mortaza alongside John Rowe. John, not a Victoria Maiden team we expected in the first half.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we've seen some really poor play calling, and it led to that first safety. On the defensive side of the ball, this is the same defense that was doing an awesome job, just flying everywhere against WA. They've given up 123 yards so far. On the offensive side of the ball, only 22 yards on the ground from Parker. In the air, Penny Reed, 3 of 11. She needs to be doing it better. But Miss Luda has had some key drops. I would have expected more from this Maidens team tonight against a big-time surge.
Absolutely, and this New South Wales team has accounted for all the scoring in the first half of this ball game. It all started with this safety early in the game against Jules Parker in the back of the end zone. That gave New South Wales an early 2-0 lead. They followed that with Jacinda Barkley finding Corbin McGregor on this 10-yard touchdown strike. And then finally it was Quincy Hewitt bringing in this 20-yard touchdown pass from Jacinda Barkley. That's where we stand at halftime, 16-0. And John, now let's take a look at those first half stats.
I'll tell you what, New South Wales offense is simply dominating. They've got 123 yards of offense, and 81 of those are coming through the air, which is fantastic. For Victoria, they've held the ball offensively and have had some good drives. They have got in the red zone in the scoring, but they've choked when it comes to the scoring opportunities.
Absolutely, and that brings us to the end of first half festivities here in Sydney, Australia. We'll be back for kickoff of the second half after this.
Back to action here at Centrebet Stadium in Sydney, Australia. And now let's take a look at our 2 starting quarterbacks tonight in their first half of play.
Barkley, they're letting her loose. She's going downfield. Some great catches by the receivers. Penelope Cooler-Reed's not doing too bad, but the receivers are dropping the ball.
New South Wales fans have got to love that Jacinda Barkley's finally delivering as we go down to the field with Sarah Godfrey.
Thanks, guys. I'm here on the sideline with Harley Greenwood. You seem very assertive and confident a few weeks back in Melbourne. What's the difference between that game then and the team now tonight?
Look, I don't think there's any major difference. I think we're just getting used to everything that's still happening. Good thing for us is 2 halves. We're ready to go. As far as we're concerned, we're starting this game fresh again this half, and we're going to beat them in this half.
Exactly. Well, the game's not over yet.
Right.
Back to you guys.
I think Charlie's exactly right. I mean, hopefully the coaches have had some words at half-time. It's only 16 zip. Maidens should hopefully come back. Let's see if the Surge is going to put that final nail in the coffin and score some more points.
Yeah, 16 points in one half of play is not a lot of ground make up. And certainly this offense can do just that. They'll have to be on defense first as Mia Clifford kicks this one off. Corbin McGregor on the return, getting to the left side, now cuts it back inside. Nice. Great return for McGregor, adding her first half stats. New South Wales will have it at the 24-yard line. Great field position to start the second half.
Great return, setting up the blocks, flowing left, and then bang, cut it back to the right. I mean, these guys are almost at half field ready to go.
Wida Hewitt remains the running back. 1st and 10 at the New South Wales 24-yard line. Barkley hand off to Hewitt. Hewitt over the middle here. Bulldozes her way for 7 yards.
I'm loving this offensive line's sort of zone step, just driving down the field. I mean, we haven't got Gillespie in there. That's one of the first times we've seen the run up the middle without Gillespie.
Yeah, often too much credit is given to the running back. When that front line of New South Wales launches, they're 3-4 yards deep down the field.
Coach Miro Williams doing a great job.
That run set up a 2nd and 3. Again, Hewitt on the left side now. And she'll go for about 8 yards. That'll move the sticks. 1st down, New South Wales.
They've obviously had a bit of a chat here at halftime about what they want to come out and do and make a statement. Run to the right, run to the left. Really nice zone blocking by the O-line. Good running.
2 things happening here. The sticks are moving and the clock is running. 1st and 10 at the Victoria 11.
Oh.
Bad snap, low snap. Barkley recovers, going to go to the right side, try to get to the out of bounds. She went for about 2 yards on that play.
Good job by the Maidens there, just held contained. When that ball's on the ground, anything can happen. People forget about their responsibilities. Not the case there.
Barkley continues to impress. Nothing seems to rattle her. And she's proven in the first half that she can open it up. 2nd and 8 now from the Victoria 9. Shotgun. Back to pass. Quick dump off to Hewitt. Hewitt trying the left side. Gets down to the 1-yard line. Hewitt looking really versatile here on the ground, through the air, making us forget about the little redhead a little bit.
Nice. Yeah. Who was that again? Nice little dump off pass here. Arm versus body. Body wins every time. You've got to get your whole body behind the tackle. You can't just stick an arm out there and expect to stop the running back.
Now a 3rd and goal as we look inside the huddle of New South Wales. Barkley under center, going to try the quarterback sneak right up the middle, and that's going to do it.
That's how you do it.
That'll be another 6 points for New South Wales, and they are starting to take over.
Great call. This is just the wedge straight up the middle. They can do it from 2 yards out. Nice job.
Looks like New South Wales is going to line up for the 2-point attempt now from the 3-yard line.
This will be exactly what the Surge wanted to. Just coming out of halftime break, talk about what they're going to do. They've driven the length of the field. Great kickoff return, starting field position. Let's see what they can do here.
Now the extra point attempt from the 3. Barkley going to try to take it herself on the right side, and Evie Wonder comes up. Wonder all over the field tonight.
Oh, how is there not a flag on that play? I think it was Harley Greenwood just got slammed WWE style to the pavement. It's getting rough out here.
Now Victoria's offense will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. There's Bonnie Gillespie just pacing up and down.
But the defense, right? Defense.
Defensively. Now here comes the danger. You know you're down 22-0. The defense going to pin their ears back and get after Reed.
Tee off.
1st and 10. Bad snap. Quick pass to, it looked like Parker. Parker not ready for it.
We just do that whole thing over again. Bad snap. Throw was low. No catch. Come on, Maidens. We saw you great a couple of weeks ago. You can do it.
Poor execution. That'll set up a 2nd and 10 now. Pass in the flat. That one intended for Talia Armin. No one there.
Mitch, I want to see if we see the replay. There was a red flash. I think it was Gillespie just teeing off on the quarterback. I hope we get it.
Armin not happy at no pass interference being called there. Now a 3rd and 10. Chloe Butler and company just pinning their ears back. 3rd and 10, as I said, from the 15. There's a fake handoff in the flat to Armin. Armin's going to stretch it.
Nice work.
Great pass completion. That went for 13 yards.
Good job. Good job. A lot of pressure coming from that right offensive side there. Roll back out. Nice little pass to the flat. Get the first down.
This is where you got to show a little heart, John. I mean, you're down 22-0. You got to continue to fight here.
Yeah, and they've got to believe in themselves. It's not over.
A 1st and 10 now from the New South Wales 22-yard line. Handoff goes to Parker. Parker through the middle. She is just like a warm knife going through very, very warm butter.
Nice work, Parker. That's what I'm talking about. You've just got to keep chipping away. Do the things that you do well. Look at this handoff. Set. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Parker, great job. She set the block up. Moved to the right. The defender went right. And then, bam, she cuts it back to the left.
9 yards on that carry. She's just got that power. Once those legs start moving, it's tough to bring her down.
Tell you what would be tough, Mitch, it's trying to pick an all-star team at the running back position.
2nd and 1 handoff goes to Crystal Pulsevic. Pulsevic will move the chains. That'll create a 1st and goal for Victoria.
This is a good drive.
They're showing that they've got the size, they've got the athleticism. It's just been execution. A lot of people have had 3 games up to this point. This is only the 2nd game from Victoria. They've got to work out some of those kinks.
And it's their first traveling game.
Absolutely. Now a 1st and goal. Parker deep. She gets the handoff, and it's going to bulldoze her way into the end zone for the first Victoria score.
And here we go.
There's the athleticism we've seen from Parker all season. And watch her just bulldoze through this offensive line and defense.
Oh, great job. Gillespie just got nailed. She got kicked out. Boom.
That's an interesting call, using Gillespie inside. She doesn't have the frame you normally see from a defensive end. And as you pointed out, she's just getting moved off her position.
She got the speed, but yeah, she just got owned on that play.
Now a 2-point conversion for Victoria. Little pitch out play to Parker on the right side, and she just doesn't have the room on the edge. So the score will remain 22-6, New South Wales.
Ran out of real estate.
Monique Gaxiola not liking some of the action after the play. Still chirping back and forth. These two do not like each other.
Really? I would not have guessed that.
New South Wales goes back to work here. Jacinda Barclay under center. 1st and 10 from the 15. Inside handoff to Hewitt.
Oh, that was high.
Hewitt goes for about 4 yards. Wonder on the stop.
Nice little run again by New South Wales. Just going up the middle again. It's just weird for me not seeing Gillespie in the backfield.
Hewitt is impressing tonight. And Gillespie's going to be a great 1-2 punch for this team. Barclay back in the shotgun now, 2nd and 6. Shotgun snap, going to try the left side of the field now, going to tuck it, go right.
Go.
She's still motoring.
Go.
Pass midfield. A little bit of wardrobe malfunction, and she gets it down to the 15-yard line.
Nice job, though. She can drop. I tell you what I love about Barclay as quarterback. Look at the poise in the pocket. She has the presence. She has a look around, and when it's not there, I'm running with the ball. Great protection. She's looking through the progression, finding out who's not open, and then she needs to run with the ball. Great job.
That run went for about 15 yards. Sets up a 1st and 10 from the Victoria 16. Barclay back to pass on the right side. Nobody in the flat. Perhaps a little miscommunication between her and Kayla Mulvog. Harley Greenwood in coverage.
Yeah, just got to have a little bit more patience. Just talking about the patience before on that sort of 7-yard out. She's just got to have the patience to get it.
New South Wales in the huddle. Great offensive scheme on both sides. Only Victoria struggled in the red zone a bit.
And we've got Gillespie in the backfield again.
2nd and 10 now. Barclay back to pass. Quick slant. Kayla Mulvog Mulvogue still on her feet.
Nice job again.
11-yard reception there, 1st and goal. The ball goes all the way to the Victoria 5-yard line.
Wasn't the prettiest pass in the world. We used to have a saying we put a wobble on it so you could see it better. But the slant pass got there. Nice little alleyway. They're driving here.
Those quick slants are open tonight, whether it's Corbin McGregor or Kayla Mulvogue.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more of them.
1st and goal now at the 5-yard line. Gillespie in the backfield explodes off the middle. That's another 6 points for New South Wales. As Center Bet is loving this. They are taking a commanding lead now, 28-6.
Great job here. This is almost a no-brainer. Give it to Gillespie. Look, 2 on 1. 2 defenders on 1 unblocked running back. Bam, she's in.
2-point conversion from the 3. Going to try the same play. And that is no good. Or did she get in?
She got carried. I don't think she touched the ground because she was on a Maiden.
It looks like they're giving her the conversion. Perhaps she never touched the ground, as you said, coasted in on the back of a Maiden.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll increase the lead 30-6. Once again, not what we expected in this ball game. WA and Queensland are watching this one closely, I'm sure.
Absolutely. We've got some very important games coming up which will reflect the playoffs.
1st and 10 play now from the Victoria 15-yard line. Talia Armin doing the honors.
There's a nice little inside reverse again. He
goes for about 10 yards. Takes the ball out to about midfield as we have an injury down on the field.
I think Mitch, this is about the 3rd time we've seen that play from the Maidens. Worked well for them.
And that is Mo Gaxiola. That would be a massive loss for New South Wales.
A little bit of concern.
That's her best mate, Chloe Butler, looking on anxiously.
Mitch, that's one of the more experienced players in the league, in the history of the league. How does it tonight differ compared to what you guys do in the States? Indoors, outdoors, hot, cold?
Yeah, you got to imagine, you know, this is outdoors under the heat of the summer. In the States, we're a little spoiled. We're indoors, air conditioning, plenty of Gatorade. But I think it does take a little getting used to. 2nd and 4 now for Victoria, with 7 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. And you got to figure they got to come away with some points on this drive. Jules Parker on the inside, reverse handoff to Chelsea Klingon. Klingon loses the ball out of bounds. Although it looks like Victoria will retain possession, as New South Wales did not cover that, and that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
What I'm seeing, Mitch, is the Maidens can do it. They're just not making the most of those opportunities when they get down there to score.
New South Wales doing the complete opposite. They're closing the deal all night. They're up 30-6. A little Queen action as we return to Center Bet Stadium here in Sydney, Australia. And this has been a physical game, John.
We've seen some big hits from both teams, contain offense and defense. And Jules Parker, boom, right there. She dishes out some punishment.
Jules Parker and company will take over now. 2nd and 4 from the New South Wales 19-yard line. 8 minutes, John, to reserve some kind of dignity and maybe even take a stab at winning this ball game.
Absolutely. It's a weird feeling I've got. The score is 30-6, but you feel like the Maidens are still in it.
Reed back in the shotgun as the crowd comes to life. High snap. There's a look down the field. Way overthrown. That was intended for Steph Davey, but well overthrown.
And that safety had that corner covered over there. They might want to look up going back to the shorter stuff and chipping away. They've still got time.
That'll set up a 3rd and 4. There seems to be a lot of confidence in that huddle, just not a lot of great results.
Yeah, I think we were speaking about that all tonight, Mitch. They just haven't made those. It's all like the brigade in the first game. They just haven't made those opportunities of getting in the end zone.
3rd and 4 action here. Left side handoff to Talia Armin. Armin goes for 5 yards, and that'll be good enough to move the sticks.
And that is the 4th time I think they've run that play tonight. And it's working well every single time.
The ground game has definitely been effective for Victoria this season. Penny Reed, a lot of high expectations coming into the season, just has not translated in the pass game just yet.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to take shots down the field too much. They just need that sort of short to medium zone.
You are down 30-6. You've got to give up some luxuries, but there's Penny Reed. That's one of the things we didn't talk about. She does have wheels.
Yeah, I want to see this more often. That was a great run. We've hardly seen that all night. She's got to hold on to the ball at the end, though.
Reed went for about 9 yards there, setting up a 2nd and 1. You score here, you're within 2 scores.
I like it. Just got to get in the end zone. Got to translate the points.
2nd and 1 now.
You're right, Mitch, with that huddle. I'm not seeing anybody's head down. They're still positive about it.
2nd and 1 from the 5-yard line. Handoff to Jules Parker. Fighting for those yards. She will get the 1st and goal set up here. Bronte Zire seems to be all over the field tonight.
Somebody might want to think about actually blocking her, because they did a really good job going to the left, but Bronte just come out of nowhere.
An amazing athlete at only 18 years old, playing against these women that range 25 to 30 years old.
He's doing great.
1st and goal action here. Fake handoff to the flat. Chloe Butler not fooled at all. She stayed with her assignment.
Nowhere to. Look at the coverage on that. Great stuff from Chloe Butler.
Here's to your point earlier. You've got Jules Parker in the backfield. This has got to be Jules Parker territory.
Well, it's got to be. You'd think. But if I was a betting man, I'm not putting money on it, because I've seen some things tonight that could have gone the other way that I wouldn't have put money on.
Definitely some interesting calls from the offensive coordinator tonight. There is Parker on the left side, and there she is, bulldozing once again into the end zone. Once she gets that momentum going, you can see right there.
Somebody's still got energy.
She is an athlete and cuts into that New South Wales lead. 30-12 now, and you got to figure they're going to go for a 2-point conversion.
That's exactly right. I mean, page 1 of the football manual. It's not rocket science. Just give the running back the ball, your best running back the ball, and put it in. Come on, this has got to lift the Maidens.
You start seeing Mo Gaxiola breathing heavily there. They've been on the field for a lot of time. This New South Wales defense. Now the 2-point conversion. It looked like Chloe Butler jumped. There it is.
Do we have the running back jump? Do we have the defense jump? We've got a tissue on the field.
Let's wait on the call here.
Full start. Number 6.
That looks to be a false start on Victoria.
I think one of the running backs was a little eager to get in the end zone.
They'll take another shot at it, this time from the 3-yard line. Checked at the 8-yard line. Got another stoppage in play. Just looks a little bit of mass confusion on offense. The fake handoff, going to try the same play in the flat. No chance. And there's
look at that. It's raining yellow.
There's that pass interference call that Talia Arman has been begging for all night.
I'll tell you what, though, the surge defensive line.
Pass interference. Number 5 on the defense. It'll be half distance. Repeat the down.
And the crowd's into it again. That's what I love about Australians. We let you know how we feel.
I can't quite make out what they're saying, but I think they don't agree with the call.
I think they're saying it's a great game so far, but we don't agree with you, Mr. Referee.
Very polite response from the Sydney crowd. Now another extra point attempt, and there's just nothing doing.
Cornerback Lisa Toricki, one-on-one. You can leave her alone. She's got that edge protected, just like Bronte Zire. Great job tonight.
We are under 5 minutes remaining in this one, and New South Wales in full control of this one. Back to Centrebet Stadium in Sydney, Australia. And Mo Gaxiola, one of the high-profile middle linebackers globally. We have her mic'd up tonight.
You're eating up your own clock, idiots. No extra point, baby. Touch one more time, you idiot. I'm gonna knock you out. Hey, why is she touching me? Why is she touching me? Why is she touching me? I don't know. Why the touching me? Get the out of my face. Get to your bench. You wanna go? Don't push me after the play, punk. It's called football. You tackle, idiot.
I tell you what, the motor and the mouth all working as one. She's what you want as your middle linebacker.
That is, you can't teach that. That is inherently in you as a middle linebacker, that swagger, that attitude. And it's translated here in Australia. Now the onside kick for Victoria. Ronte Zaire on the recovery. And that's what you can do in the LFL. If you're down within 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, you can take a shot at the onside kick. Looked like a good kick, good hop.
There was an opportunity there, but gee, that was well recovered by the surge.
Ronte Zaire, who we've been talking about all night defensively. Key possession there.
She's had a cracker of a game. As I said, she's one of those players that you trust her one-on-one to make that tackle.
Playing well beyond her 18 years. Now a 1st and 10 for New South Wales. They're going to stay to the ground with Hewitt, and why not? Hewitt goes for about 5 yards there, and the clock will continue to run. 30-12. New South Wales in full control of this one.
Well, here you go, Mitch. Here's the strategy point of the LFL. How much now does Surge being in front show to the rest of the league with the opportunity that they might be going to, further on to the playoffs and grand final?
I think you've seen most of their playbook at this point. Now it's a matter of closing out this game, and there's Gillespie on the left side. Gillespie popping out for 7 yards.
Just nice basic form running. Just zone left, give it to Gillespie. Nothing too fancy.
That's one thing you are showing the rest of the league. You've introduced them now to Hewitt, where everybody else was ISOing Gillespie. Now you've got a game plan for Hewitt.
Absolutely. And we've seen Hewitt to the left and to the right tonight. It's been great.
1st and 10 from the Victoria 18. Barclay back to pass. That looked to be going to Onley. Onley releasing in the flat. You don't see that in this offense that much.
Sorry, Mitch, that's exactly right. I was going to say, I think that could be the X factor coming into the finals is Onley. I mean, we've seen her pancake people tonight. She's a great blocker. She's got the height. And now they're starting to get her out in the pass patterns. You got Gillespie, quarterback Barclay, and now you could have Onley.
Onley, the former Australian gladiator. Now a handoff to Gillespie. Gillespie breaking through tackles all the way to the end zone. Right through the tackle of Harley Greenwood.
Oh, here we go. What do we got here? I whip my hair back and forth. Oh, you got the style going on. Have a look at the blocking by Onley, Pavalka, Hewitt. Look at the cut. It's the typical zone blocking. The running back is allowed one cut. Coach Miro Williams must be real proud.
That New South Wales front line do not get enough credit, John. Charmaine Pavalka at center. Shari Onley at tight end, and Quincy Hewitt at the other tight end. They have just been pushing back that Victoria front line. Now they're up 24 points and going to go for 2 more here as Hewitt gets the handoff. Lauren Harris coming up from that DN position. We've had Shari Onley mic'd up tonight. Let's listen in.
Break their confidence, keep breaking their confidence. They've got nothing. They want to brawl, they don't want to play football. And then when they get a whack in the face, they're going to win. Run it again, bitch. Off, mate. You want to play football or you want to box? Huh? Hey, that's football, baby.
Loving the attitude. I mean, football's not only physical, it's mental, and if you can get inside of the head of the opponent, you've got an advantage.
You always talk about that intimidation factor, and Shari Onley showing that she can get inside the head of anybody. Little pitch out play to Jules Parker on the left side. Parker goes for about 5 yards there. With a 24-point lead and only 3 minutes left, when do you start thinking about pulling some of these starters?
Well, I personally say never, because I mean the season's only short. It's the first year. Something to prove, keep it going, get the practice. I mean, why would you pull anybody? Because it's a case of you need the practice, you need the experience on the field.
I only say that because these two match up again in 2 weeks at Amy Park, and that's going to be for potentially one of the teams that advanced to Legends Cup. Now they're going to try the right side, and that's a fumble. Parker will recover. No gain on that play.
I can see the mentality of that, Mitch, but it's almost a case of the way the Surge is talking now, and their mouth is starting to motor. That'd be fuel to the fire for Surge going, well, you came off the field before the end. Couldn't you handle the whole game?
Absolutely, John. There is something to be said for that. If you come back
build some momentum going into the January 11th game. You give yourself at least that. Now we are officially at the 2-minute mark. New South Wales still rocking and rolling on LFL football night. And John, there is Bronte Zaire, who's had an amazing night and just named the game MVP.
Oh, and she deserves it too. That 6 solo tackles. That's what I was talking about. You could just leave her one-on-one and feel safe that she's going to make that tackle.
And now our own Sarah Godfrey is caught up with Bronte Zaire.
Thanks, guys. I'm down here on the sideline with Bronte Zaire, game MVP. Congratulations. Just one more matchup against this Victoria Maidens team, Jan 11th. Is there anything that scares you about this team?
Look, to be honest, they're not playing technical football. We're playing technical football, and that's why we're getting on top of them. They've got nothing. They've showed that with their dirty work and stuff like that. So we're all on top of them. We're not scared for January 11th. Bring it on in their territory. We'll do it.
There you go. Bring it. Congratulations. Back to you guys.
And Mitch, that's exactly what I was saying about. Forget state of origin. New South Wales, Victoria, they hate each other.
Shotgun snap to Reed, gonna take a shot down the field, overthrown. That's Amanda Janes that gets under it. Go! James returns it for about 15 yards back to midfield.
Oh, here we go, here we go. I told you they didn't like each other, Mitch.
That's just a bit of frustration. That looked to be Steph Davey. And they are setting the stage for January 11th, aren't they, John?
And Caxiola's in there, of course. Oh, this is going to be a great return match. Look at this, just throw it up there. No one's really open. There's 4 defenders, 2 receivers. Pitch and catch.
Now, with under 2 minutes remaining, New South Wales takes over. They'll have the ball here at midfield. Hand off to Hewitt on the right side. Hewitt goes for about 7-8 yards now. Gets a little nudge out of bounds.
Loving the communication on the offensive line. You can see them pointing out who they're going to take. You don't need to keep secrets here in this game. You just need to make sure you're communicating well and you're telling people who I'm going to block.
Great effort here from New South Wales, especially churning out the yards and working the clock when it needed it. Now 1:44 left, another handoff to Hewitt. Hewitt showing that power. She goes for 10 yards and has had a great night tonight, John. She's gone for 13 attempts for 65 yards.
Week 1, Gillespie. Game 2, Gillespie. Now Hewitt tonight. What a great package.
And Talia Greenwood has been held in check tonight after that great debut game versus WA.
They certainly have had her number tonight.
Hewitt now trying the left side again. That was a 1st and goal play that went for about 2 yards as the clock continues to tick.
Tell you what, Mitch, the refs better keep an eye on this.
This is shaping up a monster matchup on January 11th at Amy Park in Melbourne. That will more than likely determine who moves on to Legends Cup. Now a 2nd and goal for New South Wales. At this point, just rubbing salt on that wound, John. That was a busted play by Barclay.
Yeah, you want to end with a bit of class here. Still going through the motions. The game's not over yet.
That looked to be maybe a handoff, but the Hewitt and Barclay were not on the same page.
Well, that's what we should be seeing from the Maidens most of the night. They're good contain there.
3rd and goal and what could be the last play of this game. You would think you want to take a knee here and not set yourself up for more animosity when you get down to Amy Park. Now a 3rd and goal. We are inside of 10 seconds, and there's Hewitt on the left side. Tracked down last second by Steph Davey.
Does she get in, or is she just short?
She is just short, and that ends the misery for Victoria and starts the celebration for New South Wales. They are back on top after a game against WA that they were all very depressed about, John. This sends another message that New South Wales is definitely back.
Great to see New South Wales on their home turf. Got the coaches shaking hands, and oh, there's no love lost there. Coach Chambers and Coach Gaffey. What's all that about, Mitch?
We saw a little bit of that developing, and that will transfer to Amy Park. Count on that. But what a great game. A lot of intensity, a lot of emotion as we wrap this one and get ready for next week. For Mitch Mortaza, John Rowe,
Sarah Godfrey, our producer Gino Payne, our director Patrick Rulich. We will see you next week for LFL Football Night.